welcome back to another episode of Duty Calls.
Duty calls. What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about the steps to rent a unit, how that's going to look from your end, how that's going to look from our end, just what to expect.
All right. So, how to rent a portable restroom?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
this is specifically for event rentals.
Yes. Yeah. Event rentals. It's very, very similar for construction rentals. A lot of the same steps. Events typically have a little bit more information that we need to get.
Mm-hmm.
Most construction sites start with just one or a few units, and then as they increase the number of people on site or how much they're working, then we'll increase the number of units or the service frequency. But for events, I guess to start, before you call us or reach out to us, or the first call, we're going to ask a few questions. I don't want to say a lot. There's 4 or 5 that we ask. Number one would be, where's the event and what dates are they, if it's multi-days.
Okay.
So that'd be number one thing that we need to know.
Yeah.
Where the unit's going, and then how long are you going to need them? Whether it's for a day, if it's multi-day, if it's a month longer, if it's seasonal, if it's like the entire summer season or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the first question. And then the next thing that we will ask or that we want to know is how many people are you expecting and for what kind of duration. So let's say it's a one-day event, it's a wedding reception outdoors, and there's going to be 250 people there, and they're going to be there for 4 to 6 hours.
Sure.
Right, so that's one example. Another example would be it's a month-long event with 100 to 200 people every day, 7 days a week for 8 to 10 hours a day.
Okay.
So those are kind of two opposite, examples of how many people and how often that there's going to be people there.
Sure.
So that helps us determine the number of units that you need, the service frequency, if it's going to be over several days, or if it's going to be a extended duration for one day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the next question is, how many people and how long.
Okay.
The third question that we'd ask, or fourth, I guess, would be what kind of special circumstances or requirements does the location have, or do you have? And that would be in terms of like delivery times, service times, pickup times,
placement instructions.
What else? What am I thinking of here?
Any specialized equipment
Yeah.
that you would need?
Yeah, specialized equipment, or if you know that you're going to need a certain number of hand washing stations as a ratio to the number of units, or if you know that you're going to need a certain number of wheelchair accessible units. There are certain ratios that we try and follow as a rule of thumb, but certain locations have different needs.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the next question that we'd ask, and then to finalize it, what am I thinking of? I've got it in my head. What else do we ask? I just totally lost it.
Those are the main questions. Of course, right off the bat, just if there are any special instructions that they have, like you mentioned, the kind of units, how many people we're expecting, simple things like
Time
that.
and place.
So really, at that point, it just
There's
comes down.
something else. I'm trying to think.
Are you sure?
Maybe not.
I don't.
It's early.
It's not that early. Well, anyways, after we get those questions out of the way, we can actually go into the scheduling.
And the details.
Details. So, of course, we'll look over our routing. If it is an event where we have to pick it up or deliver it on a weekend or a specific day at a specific time, we can definitely work
schedule
around
that.
Well.
Yeah, we schedule, we take all of your accommodations into account when we do schedule stuff. I know we have several that it's got to be delivered by 4 p.m. on a Friday for a Saturday, Sunday event, or it's got to be delivered on a Tuesday because there's an auction on, Wednesday morning starting at 8 o'clock.
Sure.
Or we deliver it the week prior and get everything set up, and that way we're not in the way of anything else coming in.
On.
Yeah. So then after we get that a lot of times most people have that information before they reach out to us.
Yes, and if you don't, especially when it comes to quantities of units, and if you aren't exactly sure where the best place is to put the unit or anything like that, obviously we're definitely there to help you with that too.
Yeah. So if you have that information before you reach out to us, that's fantastic. If you don't, we can walk you through it. But we'll say that the next step would be to contact us. How can people get a hold of us?
Well, you can call us, you can email us. I know some people reach out on Facebook. Yeah, call, email, Facebook, social media, anything like that.
And if you don't email us directly, we do have a contact form or a get a quote form.
Our website too.
Through the website. So yeah, we're trying to be available as much as possible. So yeah, we're available, and I usually respond to emails as soon as we get them for the most part. We try to, even if it's, after hours or on a weekend or something. I try and respond to them at least. We may not be able to, if it's something that's several months out, then we'll probably schedule it during when we're back in the office, but I'll at least acknowledge or confirm that we got the request. So so just contact us, and then either if you have that information, then we're ready to go. We can move on. If we don't, we'll walk you through it. And then after that, so after they contact us, what does the scheduling process look like?
Well, basically,
or how does it work after they've called us?
Okay, well, we'll get all that information. We'll get it all in our system. We do have two things that we send out. We'll send out a vent portable restroom agreement just to make sure that we're all on the same page. We have all of the correct information. And then, of course, if anything changes, and then we will also, after that is signed and returned, we also have an email confirmation again.
Confirming the delivery date.
Just confirming the delivery date. It'll have any notes that you told us to add.
Placement instructions, driver information, who's going to be the one that's current at that time, at least scheduled to deliver the unit.
And then after that, that's really it until we actually go out and deliver the unit. And when we do deliver the unit or units, the driver will generally call when he's there, at least give you a little bit of a heads up if you do specify that as well. The day of. So
we do get a lot of questions. People ask, what time are we going to deliver the unit? And I think this is a good opportunity to hopefully explain how we schedule things and why maybe sometimes we can't give a specific time. It works best for us when we're scheduling something. If you have a deadline, like a specific time that the unit needs to be there by, it works best for us to get that information and then accommodate that and work that into our schedule, rather than us give you a specific time that we're going to be there. Like you said, we try and call when we're on our way, or getting close to the location, and that's specifically for number one, an update. Hey, we're on our way. Number two, do you have any specific placement instructions? Are there site requirements in terms of, does there need to be a gate that's unlocked? Do dogs need to be put up or anything? So that's what that phone call is for. As far as giving specific times, it's very hard for us to do that, I would say. Because our routes are very long sometimes, especially in the summertime with the events and everything. They're very long. We try and run the most efficient route in terms of miles and time, and we try and make a round trip based around our central location. So you could be pretty close and we could deliver it first thing in the morning when the route starts, or we could wait and deliver it last thing in the evening, or if you're really far away, generally it's going to kind of be in the middle of the route. Typically our drivers show up between 7 and 8 o'clock, and then they're getting their trucks ready, and then they're leaving, and they get back usually 4 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I would say. Especially in the summer. Sometimes it's a little bit later, but as long as we have a deadline, hey, this unit has to be here by noon on Tuesday.
I know we have a couple events like that. We have a couple, some are for like sporting events, so at a golf course, so they have to be there before everybody gets there. So sometimes, it's super early in the morning, but we can make it work.
Absolutely. If we can get a deadline, that's a lot easier for us to accommodate and work around than it is to try and give you a specific time. I'd love to give everybody a specific time, but between traffic, road construction, we run into delays on sites often, more often than what I'd want, but it does happen. So it's very hard to give a specific time. We can maybe try and give a time frame like between 8 and noon or between noon and 5 or something like that. But
Right.
that's not much better than just picking a day. And if you can give us a deadline, hey, it's got to be here by 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
We can route around that. We put that in our driver's notes. The driver's aware of it, and we schedule accordingly. We organize that route accordingly, at least.
Yeah.
So, or we'll deliver it the day before,
Yep.
if available. If we can do that, we'll just bring it the day before. That way, if you have a specific, it's got to be here by 5:30 in the morning. We'll drop it off that evening, the day before,
Mhm.
and it's there. It's ready to go. So, that's and we'll take in all considerations, all reasonable considerations or accommodations
Right.
possible. But that's one thing that we get asked very often, and
Mm-hmm.
generally the best we can say is we'll be there before your deadline or within the time frame that's
Yeah.
allotted, and then we'll call you when we're getting close.
Mhm.
So that's the best way that we found.
Yeah.
So now, once we get on site or once we call you for placement instructions, there's a few things that we want people to kind of take into consideration or understand
Okay.
coming from us. So, in terms of where the unit can actually go on a property, number one, it's got to be accessible by our trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Our trucks are not necessarily small; they're not semi trucks, but they're larger trucks. So we've got to be able to get to the property. That could be low hanging. If you have what do they call that? Like an archway or
What are you?
like going into a driveway or something. Like if there's
Okay.
low hanging trees, power
Yeah.
lines, things like that. We need at least 13 foot 6 inches of clearance,
Okay.
which is the minimum for like highway travel and everything. We don't typically get to that height, but if we do, then we want to make sure that we can
Right.
do it. So that's kind of the legal limit before you get into oversized loads.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have like gates or I'm going to call them archways over driveways and stuff.
Mhm.
That's got to be tall enough tall enough for our trucks to get under, especially carrying a 8-9 foot tall portable restroom on the bed of it.
Mm-hmm.
That it's got to be wide enough for a truck. So we've got to be able to get a truck to wherever the unit's going to go, or at least within about 25 feet
Mm-hmm.
of the unit.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, as to go along with that,
Mhm.
we also need to find a place where the unit can lay flat and level.
Yes.
As much as we can.
Yeah, the unit's got to be flat and it's got to be level. That way, it's not rocky. It's not or rocking whenever you step in it. It's not sitting at an angle. So yeah, that would be another thing. And then another thing in addition to that would be if a gate is going to be locked that we have to go through, we need to be able to access it both at the time of delivery, services if those are deemed necessary or if they're scheduled, and then also pickup. So either the code, we can put the code in our driver's notes, and it's stored within the app that we use to kind of schedule and route everything, along with your contact information. If there's a key, we can hold on to that key as well, and that'll just stay in the truck with that driver. If neither of those are an option, then a phone number of somebody that can be there
at the location
and either have it unlocked for us when we get there or meet us there to unlock it. Those are key things. In addition to that, weather, it's Kansas, weather's crazy. So if it's placed in an area like on soft ground where if it rains, say we deliver it on a Thursday and we come back and we pick it up on a Monday and it's rained Saturday or Sunday, and we can't get to it, that unit's going to have to sit there, and we don't want that because we need that unit back. You probably don't want it because that unit's any longer than you need it. So we have to take that into consideration as well when we're dropping off these units, that if weather, if we get rain or if it gets muddy, we have to be able to still get to that unit to service it, to pick it up, whatever. So that's another thing. And then, in addition to that, we don't like driving on grass or on yards. Sometimes we have to. Sometimes we have to just because of the site or where the unit's going or whatever. But we don't want to tear up your yard or your landscaping or anything like that. So we try and keep it within about 25 feet of a paved or a solid surface at least, if at all possible. So, and that's for all of the reasons that we just listed above.
Yeah.
So that's one thing to take into consideration when we actually get there. What's another thing that we want to make sure that we have prior to when we deliver it or once we get on site?
I mean, really, that's what I can
The
think
main
of.
thing.
Just making sure that we have access with our equipment,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that it's on a flat, level surface as much as we can, and then of course, with weather conditions, because you never know.
Yeah.
Really, that's the only thing. Just as long as we have that contact person.
Yeah. That we can contact
if somebody can't be on site,
Mhm.
regardless, just having that contact person. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not sure of this of your information, we're definitely here to help. So.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So after we deliver the unit, what does it look like from there?
I think we kind of explained all of that just now.
Well, they use it.
Well, yes, they use the unit.
Okay.
I don't know what else you want
So,
to say.
so once we deliver the unit, it's going to be there until the scheduled pickup date. If there is a delay or whatever, we try and contact you as soon as possible to let you know that, hey, we're going to pick it up. You know, schedule changed or there was a delay because of weather. We're going to pick it up this next day, whatever that day is.
Yeah, we'll maintain contact just
absolutely.
so you know what's going on before delivery, while the unit's on site, if services are involved,
Mhm.
and then especially we'll keep contact with pickup as well.
Yes. Yep. And then we'll pick up the unit. So.
Yep.
The rental agreement. Oh, the other thing that we send, I'm going to cover. Just talk about this. We'll also send the receipt, or the paid invoice and the receipt.
Oh yeah.
Whenever they schedule it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean that goes out automatically.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So what is it? Let's recap. So we get some information.
Mm-hmm.
We schedule the unit.
Mm-hmm.
We send rental agreement, confirmation of delivery, and a receipt.
Mm-hmm.
We then contact whenever we're getting close or 30 minutes or so out from delivery.
Mm-hmm.
On the day of delivery, you use the unit. It's fresh. It's clean. It's
Mhm.
enjoyable, and then we pick it up. So
Yes.
it's really pretty simple. It is really pretty simple. I know I've talked to a few people that it's daunting, or they're concerned. They don't know what they need. They don't know how many units. I kind of want to reiterate that we are professionals. We want to take into consideration every variable, every aspect of the unit. We want to make sure that you have enough and that it is fresh, clean, and enjoyable for you to use every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure that you have the right amount of units, the right number of services. Sometimes there's options in terms of quantities and service frequencies for longer duration events. But that is our main goal. You know, we want to take care of you, and we want to take care of the end user, whoever is using the unit. So
absolutely.
That's pretty much it, though.
Yeah,
so.
I mean that really I think covers all the bases.
Yeah.
Of course, if you guys have any questions or concerns, give us a call, leave us a comment, anything like that. Or if there's something that we didn't cover that, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Need to know. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Well, what are we going to be talking about next week?
Sledgehammer.
All right.
Yes, Sledgehammer. So we've got some very exciting news coming from Central Kansas here on Sledgehammer technology, Sledgehammer products. That was fun.
Yeah.
So we put in a system last week, a septic system with the Sledgehammer S86 unit in it, and
we have a cool video of that coming out.
Cool video. I want to talk about it. I could probably talk for hours on it, but it's an awesome piece of technology. New technology for old problems, I think, was what I saw from them. So
that's clever.
Yeah. We're excited to talk about that. I think that'll be the next video, and I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. That's almost a tongue twister. Please, it helps us out a lot.
Okay. Well, with that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again next week.
All right.